What's happening, brothers and sisters? Chris here from Namaste Gaming, and today it's my first time with Chivalry, Medieval Warfare. Before we jump into it though, I'd like to announce the winner of the PlanetSide 2 beta key giveaway from the previous episode of It's My First Time. Congratulations to Mr. Mulphy. Check your YouTube inbox for the key, you filthy Terran Republic scum. So, Chivalry. Chivalry is a medieval first-person slasher from a company called Torn Banner Studios. This is their first commercial title, but it's the spiritual successor of a Half-Life 2 mod called Age of Chivalry. Since comparisons to War of the Roses are inevitable, let's get this out of the way first. Chivalry is Battlefield 3 with swords and catapults. War of the Roses is Arma 2 with halberds and horses. Neither game is better, they just approach the same theme through different avenues. With that taken care of, let's talk Chivalry. As I'm sure you've picked up by now, the graphics are pretty decent. The game runs on Unreal Engine 3, which means it will run pretty decently on most gaming systems. If you've played any Unreal Engine games over the past little while, this game falls right in line with them in terms of graphical fidelity and performance. The art style is great, very grim looking, which is appropriate in the context of the gameplay. Zero complaints on the shiny factor. The sound in this game, in my opinion, is perfect for what it is. If you have a good headset, you could close your eyes and still have a decent idea of what's going on. Positional audio is really easy to pick up on, and as far as the quality of the sound, let me just go ahead and boost the levels here for you. Right? Super immersive, brutal, and jarring. There's not a ton of music in the game, but when it does crop up, it's reasonably epic. As far as the gameplay goes, there are positives and negatives to it. The upside is that the weapons are all a ton of fun to use, and the melee is literally the best I've experienced in any game ever. Weapon swings have a wind-up and a follow-through, misses are deadly, and every melee weapon has a horizontal slash, overhand slash, and stab. You can hear and see it when you connect, and it's incredibly satisfying. The combat system goes deep, too. A duel between two skilled players can last entire minutes, and can be decided by one small mistake. Not everything is sunshine and roses, though. Archery is a bit lacking in terms of feel compared to melee combat, and the maps as I've experienced them tend to cause clustered group fights, so getting a clear shot without putting an arrow into your teammate can be quite difficult. I don't tend to be a fan of friendly fire in games, and though I can forgive it in PlanetSide 2, I find it really puts a damper on things in Chivalry. Now, granted, that falls under the category of preference and is not necessarily bad game design, but I feel like the game would be better off without it. The area where this game is most lacking, however, is the new player experience. There is a brief tutorial that will essentially teach you what you're supposed to be doing, but once you get thrown into the thick of things, don't expect your training to keep you alive. This game has a very high skill cap and zero hand-holding, so be prepared for a perpetual virtual dirt nap until you get the hang of things. There's no minimap, no floating name tags, and nothing separating you from the guys who have been playing Age of Chivalry for years. Now, take this for what it's worth, as an opinion based on a few hours of gameplay, but I get the feeling that if you're willing to put the time in to master this game, it could be an incredible experience. With the depth of the combat and the large, brilliantly designed maps, there's a ton of potential. Whether or not you're willing to slog out the brutal learning curve to experience it is the question. If you think you'd be willing to put the effort in, I'd definitely recommend checking this game out. But if you're the type of person who gets choked at dying a lot in games like Call of Duty, steer clear, cause this one's a rage inducer. Just ask my girlfriend. That wraps up this episode of It's My First Time. If you enjoyed the video and feel like helping it get more attention, go ahead and click the like button. And if you're new to the channel and like what you see, click the subscribe button in the upper left. Love y'all. Stay black.